afternoon, everybody. I think it's afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Happy to have you along. And this is now, having won the championship with Ipswich by an absolute street, this is now the difficult bit that we have to deal with. If you're a beginner, this is probably the hardest thing that you have to deal with when going from championship to Premier League. And if we can negotiate this successfully, you can negotiate any move upwards in any league in the world. If this is the hardest league, the Premier League, and if you can negotiate this, hey, you can do anything. And so things looking good. We've had our celebrations now, and the players should be going on holiday. This is where the real work begins. And there's no jobs available that I particularly want, so we'd always have a quick scan at this, just in case there's something that catches my eye. But I don't want to take Luton or Wolves, and they have no interest. What I do want to do is to go and have a look at their squad briefly, because they have been relegated, and have a look if there's any players that might be of interest to me, like Alt Nouri, for example. He's got a value of 30 million, but we might be able to pick him up on loan. Who knows? We'll see as the transfer window develops. João Gomez is way beyond our budget. There's just players here who we're just not going to be able to afford as we go through. But they may look to provide players on loan as the season goes on. So we'll deal with those things when they come. The thing is, for a beginner, is not to be panicking. The game is going to throw players at you at the beginning, and we'll come to recruitment, which is really important now in a second. But the first thing that I did, having been promoted, and if you remember, all of those we allocated to different people. I haven't allocated that, but training was all allocated. But staff now, I've changed it. And I have, although I have now taken charge of hiring the staff for the first team. And I have taken charge of renewing all the contracts of the staff for the first team. And there's a clear reason for that, because I don't want the director of football just renewing contracts, because if I go to my staff overview, then you can see I have 2 vacancies for scouts. They've just upped it, but that's not enough really. So perhaps I need a clear out. So I'm going to have a look at these. He's not good enough. So I don't want anybody renewing his contract. We're going to get rid of him. That's one we're going to get rid of. Probably Dan Hill is going to go as well. Yep, he's going to go. He's not good enough for Premier League. That's 2. Rafael Tonello can stay. He's decent enough. Carl Robinson, he's going to have to go. That's 3. And as we go down, Dominic, he can probably stay. He's probably good enough to stay early on. We don't want to get rid of them all. This one, Daco, can definitely stay. Has good knowledge of South America as well. And then Saber just about makes it. I mean, he has really good knowledge, extensive knowledge of several different countries. So we'll keep him. Although this isn't really high, it doesn't really matter. It's high enough for what we're about to do. So there are 3 that we want to get rid of, and then we've got 2. So we're looking at hiring 5 scouts. Hi, Max. That's good to hear. Thanks for popping along and letting me know. That's really good. That's really good to hear, Max. It's something I've been working on for a long time. We've just won every single trophy with Newcastle, the Newcastle team in the Journeyman, which we do live. And we've made a huge start, winning our first 3 games in the next season. So it does work until the switch is thrown and then it stops working. But that's out of my control. So yeah, we've made a really good start again, beating some good teams. We had to change the lines a lot to get those results, especially against Tottenham. It does work. It takes practice to visualize where the space is that they're using. But once you've done it for a couple of weeks regularly, you get to see where they are using the space. And then change your lines, and then you're going to dominate the game, which we showed again last night. So we have to look at our staff, and we have to get the recruitment team. The first thing that we have to do is get the recruitment team sorted out, and we now know that we want to hire 5. Now, normally, I'd go and place an advert just to give it some realism. But as a beginner, I would say go to your staff search, go to the kind of, I want a scout, basically recruitment scout. I don't need those, but I do need adaptability and these two, judging player ability and judging player potential. And we see what comes up. Nothing. We've got a few, but these you're not going to be able to hire because these are different roles that they want to play. I do want to hire a director of football, which we'll come to in a minute. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scouts. None of them are in a job. Oh yeah, they're all in jobs. So it's going to cost us money to get these in. We're not going to get them all. A very, very good scout, but he's limited to England and Scotland. But we still need to look at England and Scotland, so he might. Now we have somebody who's got very, very good knowledge. Can we afford him? Well, let's go and approach to sign him. Certainly within our range. But because he's with another team, I'm going to up this to 2.2. Just to try and entice him to come here. He wants to be a chief scout. But I'm going to offer him a scout job, and he's not accepting it. So we're not going to take that. I have a very good chief scout at the moment. And so we're going to look at this guy. Only England. And then Michael Murphy. Ireland and Scotland. His mentors are not too good, although he's a good player. And then we have a very, very good one here. Who's got good knowledge of Spain, great mentors, adaptability. And so we'll offer him a contract. And we'll up that a little bit, call it 2.6. And he again wants to be a chief scout. He's not going to go for it. So we're going to have to, what we're going to have to do is come down a little bit. So we're going to come down 1 on each of these and see what that adds to our list. Now we've got a bigger list. And so we need to go through these. And he's probably more in terms of what we're looking for. John Howard, Mel Johnson. Again, these are the 3 that we're looking for. And he's probably good enough as well, although he's 72 years old. But remember, he's going to have a great deal of experience and he's going to know players. And Chris Jones, very, very good scout and extensive knowledge. He's the kind of person that I'm looking for. Level of discipline's not great, but these numbers are good. So we're going to offer him a contract. But he's not. Oh, we've already approached him. And then Simon Jones. This is a tedious process that you have to go through. Only England. I want the chief scout to focus on England. Spain again. Good numbers. Let's approach to sign him. We'll up it a little bit. Go to 3K. Scout. He's happy. And so we will go with that one. So that's 1. John Marshall, we've already tried. Another one whose mentors are not great, but good judging player ability and potential. Mora, again, Spain. I've already just approached someone who is with Spain. There's a lot of Spain. I don't know why it's bringing up a lot of Spain. Director of football, I might actually. Who is that? He has the kind of figures that I'm looking for a director of football. And I do need a new director of football. So let's see if we can't sign him. Okay, we're not allowed to sign him. Let's have a look at this guy. Whoa, exceptional. I don't think we're going to be able to afford him. No, we're not going to be able to afford him. So we're going to have to go through this. This is going to be painful. No, we have to walk away from that. We can't afford him. Another director of football here. Good, again, great figures. Let's see what he's up to. We could definitely afford him. So let's just jump up to 4.5. Since the board were going to allow 30k, so he would make a very, very good director of football. And if we can get him in, at least we're on the way. Scouting wise, we're struggling. We'll come back. Hello, Pancakes. It's good to see you again. And I'm very well. I hope you are well. I hope you are well too. But this is a tedious thing that we have to do, is go through all these. But what I'm going to do to save time now is I've just hired one. It's going to take forever. I'm going to place an advert. It's going to take a little time for them to come through. But as I can see, I've got a very, very good chief scout, and she's actually doing a lot of work. So what I'm doing is I'm going through what she's finding already. And like Scott McKenna interests me a lot. He's a freebie. And why I'm interested in him is not because he's got good heading, can tackle, and can mark. I'm interested in his mentals and his physicals. And there isn't any of these really, like Flair is 7. I'm looking at these top mentals, and they're not under the 10 mark, which makes it look odd. Good leadership. His work rate and positioning, this is adequate. His physicals are not bad. He's strong. What I want is brave, strong defenders. They're going to have to throw their body behind the ball. And I need them to be strong. I also need them to make reasonable decisions. Although it's only 12, he's going to make mistakes. But we're going to make mistakes all over the pitch in our first season. Everything looks nice. So what I would do then is add him to my shortlist. Now, what I've done in the shortlist is I've created 3 different shortlists. So I've got an attack. So I've added players. Carlton Morris is an interesting one. Only 3.1 million. But if we look at Carlton Morris, he's a very physical player. And he also has the mentals that I'm looking for. I'm not really bothered about his technicals at this point. I'm just interested in his mentals. And as long as they are all around 13, then he probably is going to be a good signing. So think about how brave they are. Think about, he's very brave. Think about their strength. He's very strong. Good afternoon, Neil. I hope you're good. Hope you're well. And decision making. A level of aggression is also important. Aggression is underrated as an attribute. But teamwork, strength, and especially agility and balance, these are all important. You're never going to be able to afford somebody who's got all these yellow 15s and 16s in here. But what you want is a good spread of mentals and a good spread of physicals. Forget about his finishing. If his off the ball is decent, he's going to score goals. So he would be a very good signing, actually, Carlton Morris. So he's gone into my attack shortlist. I've got a few others that we'll keep an eye on. And then we have a shortlist for Defenders, there's 1 or 2 defenders. Harwood Bellis is in here, but I can't afford that. We've only got 30 million to play with. But there's 1 or 2 very good defenders in here that we probably could afford. We're not looking at bringing in the best players at this point. But we look at this boy, who is just 650,000, and it's his mentals again and his physicals. But he's also quite a technical player, and that means that he would be a good wing-back, possibly even a wing-back on attack. He would do a good job for us. Again, he's very brave, and his work rate is decent. It's not quite Premier League standard. It should be about 14.5, but it's not quite. He's not far off. Decisions are okay, composure okay, but I'm impressed with his physicals and overall attributes. Nothing brilliant about him, but steady and brave. So I'm just building up attack, defence and midfield. Don't go immediately for the players that the game is going to throw at you. Just resist. Just be calm. Because there's going to be better players. As the scouting team gets better, there's going to be better players come later on. So be patient. I do need to improve, without a doubt. The other thing that I have to do is look at my coaching team. And this is all over the place. And, okay, he's going to be okay as a defending coach. So we'd probably keep him. Alan Russell is a good all-round coach, so we'll probably keep him. And then Lee Cattermole, tactical and technical and mental. We could probably keep Lee Cattermole. It's when we come down to here, our fitness coaches are absolutely dreadful. So what I'm going to do is place... Oh, I can't. Until somebody leaves. Our fitness coaches, we have 5 fitness coaches. I only want 2, and we can then get in some other coaches. So I'm going to just look for a fitness coach and staff search. We're going to go and look for fitness coaches. And a lot coming up there, so we'll pick here. And the attributes, of course, that we want is fitness, and also I want motivating. And we've brought up a few. 2 of them are not at clubs. So this guy, fitness 20, and his motivating is 15. He's going to be a good fitness coach. So we just, he's not at a club, so we don't have to adjust that. And he's gone for that. So 1 fitness coach, fitness 15, motivating 15. I like him. He's not at a club. Let's approach him and we'll offer him the same deal. So we've got 2 fitness coach coming in. That means we'll get rid of the fitness coaches that we have. I'm going to have to bring in other coaches as we build up this squad. So we've got a lot of work to do. In terms of the tactic I've changed to fit the squad better. And basically what we're going to be doing, I've changed the style of play, because what we're going to be doing is we are going to be playing a low block. The line we will adjust as and when. Probably we're going to play with a standard line most of the time. We are going to step up more. We are going to stop the crosses as we normally do. I've made 1 change here, and we are going to regroup. And that means this is what Amarin is talking about at Manchester United. He's asking the players when they lose the ball, run back. All of you, run back. And Manchester United don't quite understand this instruction yet, especially Rashford, who has no idea what run back means. So just basically ask the players immediately to get back into their defensive shape after losing possession. In order to avoid players being caught out of possession, we need, as a poor team in the league, to stay in shape. And counter-pressing, we are going to be wasting our time trying to counter-press teams like Liverpool and Manchester City and Manchester United. So just get back into your defensive shape. Our defensive shape is this. It's compact in here. We're going to stop them playing and use the lines to force them to play in a way that they don't want to. And in terms of attack, we are just going to counter-attack, basically. We'll pass into space and play the way that we did. We've added dribble less, and we're going to be more disciplined about what we do. I don't want players taking things into their own hands. And so that's basically how we're going to set up and hope for the best. We have a lot of work to do in terms of our staff, but we'll see what comes in. We've put an advert out, and we'll see what comes in. We will work on the coaching team as we go along. We do have, in terms of the players, remember, I only need a first team. Really, that's all I need, because they're only going to play about 42 games. I expect to get knocked out of the Carabao Cup quite early. I expect to get knocked out of the FA Cup quite early. If we can have a run of a couple of games in each, then that will give us a total of probably 42 games. I only need a first team, because they should be fit enough and able to play 42 games. So what I'm looking for is to strengthen this 11. Forget about the bench for now. I'm going to focus on trying to find players who will be better than the players that I've identified already as the first team. I do have a number of issues to deal with, because a number of players have been offered new contracts. Marcus Harness, I didn't want to give him a contract as an important player, and his role was going to be as the shadow striker, but we have a better option in Connor Chaplin. So if that fails, then he can go. If he gets too unhappy, he can be sold. I think I've actually transfer listed him. Yeah, he's been transfer listed, 12.5 mil. If we can sell him, that's 12.5 mil that we can use. In terms of finances, we have 36 million, and we have very little wage budget to play with. So wages are important as well. So we're going to move swiftly through and just see what happens. But the thing to do is not to panic. If you are a beginner, you're going to think, oh, yeah, I like the look of him, I'll buy him. And then suddenly all your budget has gone and better players come along later. Take your time. As long as you've got a first team at the moment you can play friendlies with, then you're all set. And the other thing is, play your friendlies. Will accept the asking price. So he's happy to be on the transfer list. If he's going to be whingy, then I'm happy to have him on the transfer list. Hey Jimmy, I didn't see you there. Good to see you if you're still here. And here we go, because we're going to get a lot of these in. Lascelles, is he good enough to play in the Premier League anymore? His agility and balance worry me. His mentals are decent enough, but his agility and balance, he's strong, he's brave. That's what I look for from defenders. He's 30 years old. I need to check. Minimum 1 year. Yeah, we can sign players, but only for 1 year. He's not someone I think that we should be worried about at the moment. But the game is going to throw all these players at you. Don't go signing them until you're absolutely sure none of these are going to be able to renew their loans. And if we go and try and renew their loan at this point in time, so make an offer to loan, none of these we're going to be able to do. and they're just saying basically he should be tested in a different environment. So they're going to say no. This is a part of the game I don't like. Sarriamento, he's a very good player. I'd like to extend his loan. I can't afford to buy him. And we're going to get the same. We're going to get the same response here. So we go to, again, should be tested. There's no point in clicking on that. They're not going to entertain it. This is part of the game that is not good. Why wouldn't they entertain it? We've now moved up in the Premier League. It's a good challenge for them. So we have got one scout in, have we? He's a fitness coach. So we've got a good fitness coach coming in. And this one, he's also, both fitness coaches have accepted. We've also lost one. That's a player. But he's not in my plans, so we'll get rid of him. The other thing that you can do at this point is just quickly go to your development center, see if there's anybody who could move into the first team squad. And if that's the best we've got to offer, not really. If we go to the under 21s, we don't really have anyone who looks like they're ready to move into the first team squad. Kamara, maybe, but he's on the way down rather than on the way up. We don't have anyone from the development centre who can move up. I have asked the board to improve the youth facilities. I've had no word from them yet. Marcos rejected the offer from Ipswich. So he was the director of football. We still need to find a director of football then. Renewing contracts. Twanzebe, I don't rate him. Should I? His mentals are decent. He's strong. I don't know. I'm going to hold off on that for now. So we will delay that for now. And Missouri also is another one. I'm going to hold off on him. He's not, for me, doesn't quite cut it for Premier League. So we're going to hold off from him as well. Doesn't mean that he's not going to get a new contract. And all the others set for release. His mentors are not of a standard, and I can see why. He's saying Dominic Ball, not good enough, set for release. Aluko, definitely. So we'll apply for the rest. Just those two. Haven't made my mind up. Contracts for the following are set to expire. Now these are very, very important. So David Wright, who is a defending coach, I actually identified that he could stay. So get the director of football to negotiate a contract. John Ashton, fitness coach, we are not going to renew that contract. Kit Barnes, sports scientist with sports science, we are not doing that, so don't offer contract. So we'll do that as well. And we'll just keep going through. It's really important now that we don't panic. Absolutely important. So all these loans are finishing. They're all going back to their clubs. I'm going to get to possibly the transfer. I do need to keep an eye on my staff. Alex Moore, I'm not interested in the under 18s. at all. So we'll go back to the staff. I haven't actually signed any as yet. They haven't come in as yet. So once they come in, we'll have a look again and improve the coaching staff again. We're still waiting on getting better scouts in. But even if you don't, they're still going to come up with some very, very good I mean, look at this. He's available for free. Ryan Sessignon. Not very brave. That's his problem. And not very strong. So probably I wouldn't be looking at signing him. Despite the fact that he is a very good wing-back on attack. Defensively, he's lacking. And I would say probably wouldn't be interested in signing him. Bravery and strength would actually let him down. But I'm actually going to add him to the shortlist. He's a freebie and possibly would be a good backup for Leif Davis. Leif Davis is going to be in the team. And so they're finding players. Even somebody like Eric Dyer, who's available on a free. His mentals are stunning. He's strong. It's just his agility and balance that worry me. His pace. He can't turn very well. And so that would worry me. I'd have to be playing him with a low line of defence because he can't turn. But in terms of his technicals, he's very, very good. He's a very good player for championship level, definitely. And there are others. Harwood Bellis is available on a free and is probably someone I should be signing. I mean, you just look at his mentals. He is brave enough, got aggression. His decisions aren't great. His positioning is very, very good. And he's very strong. Good in the air. Good at marking and is decent at tackling. I mean, I would say he would be a good signing. He would be a very, very good signing, Harwood Bellis. And I think, given that his transfer value is 0, you can get him in on a free. What I need to check is he's only on 10k. I think we need to have a word with the agent. And what the agent says, he's very interested. Not sure it'd be a good move, but would expect to play as many matches as possible. Want a wage of 27 to 37. We could probably do that. Minimum release clause of 26. I wouldn't want to do that. So what I will say, it's difficult. What I want to do is to say we want to start from a clean sheet. Yeah, so I have no quibbles with the demands, but I would prefer if they could all be up for negotiation rather than boxed off, and see what he says about that. He's expressed his desire to have some terms locked in. So I think I'm going to say I would prefer that you think about it again, because there are going to be better players coming along, so we don't have to do anything. I have set mentoring groups, but I'm not doing it. I'm leaving it to the assistant manager, and so I'm going to ask him to reassign the mentoring groups. I don't believe it makes any difference, but we set them anyway. And if the other thing that I will do is training, and when we finally get here, I'm going to alter the first 2 weeks of training and then hand it back to my assistant. We'll get to that. I'm still waiting for these fitness coaches to come in, but I also do need to get rid of some of the other players, and I'll probably do that off camera, because what I'm going to try and do is there are a number of coaches, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't need 5 fitness coaches. I only have 1 goalkeeping coach, and he's pretty good. But I want 2 goalkeeping coaches. So now I'm going to look for a goalkeeping coach. So we'll have a look for a goalkeeping coach. And of course, the attributes. We'll go for all 3. See what happens. 2. Oh, more than 2. We got 5, but they're all with clubs, and the chances of getting them off the clubs. So let's just go down 1 each on those. And we're looking for ones who are not at a club. 14, 14, 14 need better than that. Emilio, 14, 14, 14 need better than that. Jonathan Gould, again, they're all 14, 14, 14. And McDonough, 14, 14, 14. Oh, this isn't going to be easy, is it? Jesus Salvador, 14, 14, 14. So I wonder if we can nick someone. Like, let's have a look at Andrew Sparks, 15, 15, 15. And his mentals are extremely good. So Andrew Sparks is, he's going to be championship and may want to come up. The Wickham coach, 14, 14, 14. Blackburn coach, 14, 15, 14 is not much better than... And then we have this Emilio Alvarez, who's absolutely super. He's a Spanish goalkeeping coach. I'm going to see if we can get him in. Let's see if we can get him in. He seems quite happy, but I think we're going to have to up his money a little bit. And let's see if he comes in. We definitely do need a goalkeeping coach. Curious, if training doesn't do a lot, do the coaches make a big difference? Probably not. I mean, I've never been involved in training at all, and I don't really. And as you saw, I didn't do anything with this coaching team during the last season, and we still won the title with 110 points. The only change I would make to what they do is when it does, I'm going to be putting in heavy fitness training for 2 weeks. For the first 2 weeks of training. And we'll see, does it make a difference? Because what I'm trying to do is I want to try and increase strength. I want to try and increase stamina. And I want to try and increase work rate. As you can see, we are poor in all areas. I want those 3, I hope, will improve if we just do heavy fitness training for the first couple of weeks. I hope that those 3 attributes will improve just a little bit, because we're going to have to rely on fitness, bravery, determination, and we really need to be at our best there. Looking at Argentina and Brazil, we still don't have... We got 5 in progress in Argentina. We have this geezer, who's a right back. Now, I don't know about you, but I like the look of him. The only problem is that if we go back to my tactic, we have a fullback on support this side. And he is an attacking wing back. As a fullback on support, he doesn't quite cut it. But if he was on left-handed side, he would be a great buy. But for now, we'll leave that go. We got this other guy, Armani, who's 37 years old, and I'm not interested in. And potential-wise, it's not really looking good for any of the others. One near match, 18-year-old Quintana from Argentina. Nah, not interested. Mentos are not And then in Brazil, 4 near matches, João Pedro. For me, I'm not looking at developing youngsters at the moment. Go to Europe, 20 recommendations. They're outside my budget, most of them. Outside my budget. At the moment, I'm looking for freebies. Anthony Martial is available on a free. But although it's his mentors again that would worry me. But it's certainly worth keeping in mind. Does he need to be brave as a forward? Probably not. But determination is low. Work rate is appalling. I'm not sure he would be a good signing. Eric Dyer keeps coming up. Scott McKenna, I think, is a better signing than Harwood Bellis, to be fair. His mentals are good, better than Harwood Bellis. So definitely thinking about him. And then we have a number who are cheap, like Zian Fleming. Not very brave, and I need them to be brave. And he's not cutting it for me in terms of his mentals and physicals. Kennedy has better mentals, better physicals, and also is quite a technical player. 4.6 mil, we could probably afford someone like that. Carlton Morris, he still keeps coming back to me. I still think he would be a very, very good signing. If we go to Germany, not much going on there. In Germany, decent mentals, good physical player. Wing back on attack, probably could do it. Just not quite there, is he? 650,000, but I have Leif Davis. He could be the backup for Leif Davis. So I'm just really looking, do I need to move them to the... Now, he is an interesting little guy. Those 3 are good, and as a shadow striker, you need those 3. He's also got good technique. His first touch is awesome. Good anticipation. His off the ball is decent. I would say the physicals that he's got, the only problem that he's got is he doesn't concentrate. But he's a definite interest to me. Definite interest to me. But these 3, dribbling, finishing, first touch, are exceptional. His anticipation is good. Decisions are average for this level, but he has a decent amount of flair. His vision is good. Decent work rate for an attacking mid. And physicals are very, very good, very strong. And agility and balance are very good. He's not pacey, but he's someone who could function in these areas as a shadow striker. So someone to be very aware of. Good afternoon, Mr. K. How are you doing? So what I'm doing is just basically I'm going to go through these, and anybody who fits what I want to do, he doesn't have enough bravery. If you're going to be a centre mid for me, he's going to have to tackle and mark. He can't do any of those, so I'm not interested in him. So we've been through those now. She will keep doing it, and as we get more scouts in, she is very good, and she will allocate them, and she will keep them on their toes. She's very, very good. So to the under-21s. Udry Morgan could be a fine player, but he's not ready yet. And Al-Mahabandi, recent form? Nah. He hasn't been playing that well, so we're not going to praise that. So we're coming to the point where the transfer window is about to open. We have found a lot of players who we could certainly bring in straight away, but I'm not a straight away kind of manager. I want to have a look at what is available, remembering that I only need a first team. Simon Jones, scout, off job to offer, good judge of potential. He is, and is it that he's limited to England, but we do have to scout England at this point. So I'm going to say, let's offer him a contract. So we'll approach to sign him. I'm not going to give him money over the odds. Peter Murphy as a set piece coach. Set pieces of 10. Are you having a laugh? If we have a look at our set piece coach at the moment, do we have a set piece coach? I think he is a performance analyst that we are using at the moment. He has set pieces of 15. Who is it? It's not him. It's not him. Or is he a recruitment analyst? Not him. And not him. So it might be a recruitment analyst that we're using. And he's very good as a set piece coach. Whatever, I can't find him now. Yeah, wherever he is. I don't know who's doing it, but I think it's one of these boys. He was a hidden gem. And scouting and recruitment analyst Adam Fairclough. 14 is not bad, and I do need to get better. Performance analyst, managerial, analyzing data. Let's give him a contract. Let's go for that. We do need to get better people in, I absolutely agree. Physio, 15. Our physios are terrible. We can get better than that. And sports science, 18. We can certainly get him in. So we're starting to put together a staff. Of course we're happy. And some of these messages you get are nonsense. How's it going, Mr. K? Hope you are well. I mean, this isn't going to be the most exciting episode. We're just setting up, and we haven't even started thinking about recruitment yet. We're just, yes, I have used a loan manager, and yeah, I think they do work. I think that what the loan manager does, have I got one here? Oh, there he is. There's my set piece coach. If we look at his coaching, he's got set pieces of 17. I don't need a new set piece coach. He's got several jobs. Charlie, he's got a recruitment analyst and a set piece coach. So I don't need a set piece coach, and we're actually looking at this pretty good in terms of the best set piece coach in the championship. So he can come with me. I don't need a new set piece coach. The loan manager, you can just let him get on with organising loans. He's not going to bring them in. It's not his job to bring them in. His job is to look after the under-21s, under-18s, and decide if they should go out on loan. And basically what he will then do is match up the style of play And they're pretty good at doing that. If you've got a good one, they're actually pretty good at doing that. They will find appropriate clubs, possibly even better than me, for your young players to go out to on loan. So yeah, I do use a loan manager. They're not very good at bringing them in, and you're better off finding them yourself, or through your... if you've got a very good chief scout like I have, then let her deal with loans in. So I'm not very good with loans and the contract negotiations for loans. So probably I'm not the best person to take on that kind of responsibility. So if I've got a good chief scout and I've got a good loan manager, those are two very important positions. So we've now got an answer to the advert, and we've got some good responses here. I'm looking at the ones who are not with a club in particular. I like the adaptability of some of these. I want them to have that adaptability if possible. Coventry, Russell West, looks like he's got excellent adaptability, and for our level that will probably do. So we'll approach to sign him. Just nudge up the money a little bit, remembering that these are players who have applied for the job via an advert. We can send him to Africa, Belgium, Spain, or France. His adaptability is poor, so if I wanted to send him to North America, he wouldn't be giving me reports straight away. But any of these countries will be getting good reports from him. He's 53 years old, probably been doing it for a long time, has plenty of experience. I'd like to offer him a contract. I don't have any problems with that. And so we brought in two. I'm going to continue the advert. Chris Badland wants a job. But unfortunately, no, he's not good enough. So that's generally the case with the recommendation from the game. And we have brought this player in. This was done before I actually was involved. And to be fair, I don't really like him very much. Poor concentration. He's not very brave. He's not very aggressive. Positioning is poor. Teamwork's poor. His passing and vision are awful. His work rate is okay. And his physicals are average. So he's 19 years old and could develop. But he's not a first-team player for me, despite the fact that he's got these ratings. I think that he's going to struggle in the Premier League. If we have a look at his report, potential to be a championship winger. He's just not good enough. So we'll have to deal with him. Probably send him out on loan because he's not good enough. David Kelly transfer blocked, and that's because now I have to get rid of the sports scientist. So Matt, so let's just check what he's got. Sports science of 18 is probably better than both of these. Sports science of 16, and Kim Barnes, he's the one that has to go. And then we have enough sports science. Cost the club 2,000. That's nothing. So we're putting together a little team for Helena to work with. But what I don't want is for the director of football to be renewing contracts. Morsey wants a new contract. And I guess I'm going to have to offer him a 1-year contract. First thing I want to check is, does he have an extension? His contract details. Nah, there's no extension. Let's talk to... I really do need to extend his contract. Yeah, I mean, let's go straight to it. It's something that I need to do. And so we will make him happy. And now we'll go to the contract negotiations. Not discuss the new enter negotiations. His form has he wants to be a star player. We're going to have problems here. Do I let him be a star player, and then just don't play him? He's 32, or do I let him go? This is a difficult one. What do you think, guys? Do you think I should, at 32, Morsi, who's probably the best player in the club? Definitely, Dav, the squad needs a huge overhaul. So I let him go. I think I should let him go. He's 32 years old. I have to say, I'm not prepared for you to be a regular starter, and he's decided no. So I think we have to put him on the transfer list now. Not going to get much money for him. And it's a big blow, because I would have preferred that he'd have been happy with a regular starter. He must know I'm going to be bringing in players in midfield. He must know that. So he's too old to be, for me, he's too old to be a star player. And he needs to go as soon as possible, because he's the team leader. Yeah, absolutely, Mr. Kerr. I'm not prepared to offer him a contract as an important player. 32 years old, playing every game. So there's plenty of ball-winning midfielders out there. And that's another new scout in. So each one of these new scouts that come in, within a few days, they will be allocated. This Helena, whatever her name is, she's a very, very good chief scout. And she's always, Helena Costa, and she's always on the case. So this Zeka is a deep line playmaker, but he needs to be able to tackle a mark, and he can't, so... Nice, but it's not going to happen. We do also need to be aware that we can bring players in on loan. But at the moment, we're not finding any decent loans. So I'm always working to improve the squad. Always check these. Oscar Valentin. 11 million, but he's worth a scout. We might get him on loan. He's definitely worth a scout. Ross Barkley. He's definitely worth scouting. He's a good player. He'd do a very good job. His problem is his marking is terrible. But worth a scout. And then Uremovic. Looks decent. Looks very decent. And if that's the higher end, that'll be good. Let's scout him as well. Always worth scouting those suggestions. And even some of these leads to be interested in Robert Stone. Definitely worth scouting him as well. Pinching him off Leeds. David Brooks. He will be an interesting signing as well. So we'll scout him as well. So I always scout those players in the suggestions. So he's made an offer for Reese. Fabian Reese. He actually can play on this side as well. What do you guys reckon? His mentals for a winger are quite decent, actually. Generally, wingers have got very poor mentos. His concentration isn't very good. I think we have to accept that. In terms of my tactic, we have an inside forward here on support. He's not an inside forward, but we can certainly switch him to be an inverted winger. His finishing is not good enough, so we can have him coming in and looking for other players. I think we should actually make it. He'd be a good signing. Wouldn't be excellent, but he would be a good signing. So generally when the director of football makes an offer, it'll appear in here. So there it is. If I don't like him, I can click him off. Yeah, I mean, but what can I afford is the question. And I've got a squad overhaul to do here. His decisions also are poor decisions, concentration, and at championship level, he's going to be a good championship player, pretty much. And he's inconsistent when presented with chances. We know his finishing isn't good. Poor intelligence. We know his decisions are not very good. But it just depends on what he's offered him. What's the contract that he's offered him? And it doesn't actually say, does it? Regular starter or yeah, it doesn't actually say what he's coming in as, which is not good. Doesn't say what his. I wouldn't want him to be a first choice. So this is a bit of a concern. Is because he has poor intelligence. I'm actually going to block it. I just think his poor intelligence, and you're right pointing out that his off the ball is poor. So we're going to block that. There's probably going to be better coming up later. We're going to try and build this first team as best we can. We're not worried about building a big squad. A squad of 21 would be good. So we have another decent scout. So I think we're done with scouts, aren't we? We're pretty good with scouts. Now we still have one more to come in. What has she done? Has she done anything in terms of assignments yet? She hasn't added to our assignments yet. Yes, she has. She's got a lot more going out. 2 in Italy, 4 in Italy. I'm not quite sure that's a good idea. But she knows what she's doing, this woman. So I'm quite prepared to let her go along with that. Now, here's someone that might be interesting. Someone that might be very, very interesting. As a replacement for Morsi. And even a replacement up here. I think he's probably someone I'd be very keen to bring in. Technical player. Needs to go on my short list as an attacker. As a midfielder, sorry. He's someone I'd be very interested in bringing in. He's being scouted. He's 30 years old. 4.5-star potential. Crossing. Brilliant. Not that that's important. Free kick. He's a free kick taker. Takes corners. Passing and vision are exceptional. Technique is good. He's probably a deep line playmaker or you'd make a very good central midfielder, I think. The problem that I have with him is tackling and marking. So if I was going to play him, I'd play him up here. I need tacklers and markers in there. So if I was going to play him, this is where he'd be, the shadow striker. Those three, dribbling, finishing and first touch, are very good. Passing is exceptional. I might even make that role an attacking mid on support with take more risks. Wonder if I should make a bid for him. Nobody's interested in him at the moment, so we don't have to make a move yet. But you're right, we should be looking at getting him in for that kind of money. Another one here, goalkeeper, but no aerial reach. And then Jason, 60k to 600k. Probably he's 29 years old, right winger. Now, I did say there would be better coming along as we go along. And I'm looking at someone who is better. And he would, in my opinion, he would be a terrific signing. And we looked at that other guy that the director of football had, and he is better, I think. He's much better. And can play across that line. Can also play as a right back if necessary. I think he would be an exceptional signing. Left foot is weak. But his right foot is very, very... I can see him bombing up this touchline. So let's make an offer for this guy. I like him. Let's talk about... It just depends on his wages. 11.25 to 13. Contract expires soon. So when does his contract expire? 30th of June. Let's approach to sign him. Yeah, that matches. Playing preferred. No, we don't want to do any of this nonsense. And we are going to improve the squad. Don't you worry about that. And because I haven't met his expectations... I'm going to up his wage a little bit. I think that's a low wage for a Premier League player. So I'm going to up his wage a little bit. I'll give him a little bit of cash here to spend for Christmas. These look okay. Everything else looks perfect. And we'll bring him in, hopefully. So this girl that I've got, who is my chief scout, she does an exceptional job. She always is coming up with players who are very, very good. There's another one here, Tanganga. I think I've heard the name. So we're definitely going to scout him. 25 years old, 4.4 million. I think he looks decent. We'll scout him anyway. She's doing a very, very good job. And her scouts are working hard for her. This isn't changing. Why? Ah, that's better. And here's another one. Again, winger. Or a centre mid. But unfortunately doesn't meet my expectations. There's plenty of good players she's finding. Scott McKenna, I think, is someone I want to bring in. I don't know what you boys think. What do you think of Scott McKenna as a central defender? I know his preferred position is a wide centre-back, but he's also very good as a central defender on defend. Can head the ball. Marking and tackling are very decent for Premier League at 14 each. His leadership is important for me. Positioning is good. He's brave, aggressive. Anticipation is okay at 13. You'd want 14.5 to be a good Premier League player. Composure is better than most. He will make mistakes. Any central defender that I bring in will make mistakes. But I want someone who's strong, good in the air, brave, and he's got those attributes. He's also got good determination. His work rate could be better, but he's a central defender. So he doesn't have to work as hard as a wing-back or a centre mid. Leadership, very, very important. And I think we should bring him in. Let's strengthen the squad a little bit. So we'll ask the agent. Whoops. So we're very keen. Again, it expires soon, so we can wait. He wants 33k to 41. That's more of a Premier League wage. We'll just say that for I would want to wage 30, so that's better. He's come down a little bit. So his contract is about to run out. So we will make... Yeah, regular starter probably is about right. And seems to be fairly keen. He's not making any demands. 34. Can we nudge him down a little bit? He did say 30 to 40 in the end. Let's just nudge that up a little bit. Go on. Let's give him some money to spend for Christmas. And his agent. Why not? $2,000 for his agent to go and have a good Christmas. And if the wage might be a bit low, let's up his appearance fee and his clean sheet bonus. Let's suggest that now. He's gone for that, and I think I've got a good deal there. So we've made a couple of signings, hopefully. And again, we don't want to panic. It's like because suddenly I'm starting bringing players in. Well, Sam, that is your problem. And we'll try again. If you're disappointed, resolve contract talks with the agents. Sorry, we want my client has no desire now. Well, now we've tried, and if you're going to be like a twit, that's up to you. I said, look, I'm sorry, things broke down, but if you don't want to play the game, there's another one. You see, immediately you make an offer for someone better comes in. And, oh boy. The only problem with him is his wage. I wonder if he is available for loan. Not yet. So, I mean, yeah, as much as I'd like to sign him, we're not going to sign him. I think that the signing we've made is decent. And it's... sorry, I didn't see your message, Isaac Vinicius. There's a Portuguese guy that I always like to bring to my team, Andre Franco. I never actually look for players that other players have had in their teams. There's two reasons why. Firstly, I think it's cheating. I mean, I know all the good players in FM24. I could just go and sign them. And to me, that's not playing the game properly. I know that I could go and sign, what's his name, the current Ipswich striker, Delap. And I could sign him. But unless my scouts come up with it, that's their jobs, and I want it to be as real as possible. And the second thing is that they might not fit the way that you want to play. And as good a player, I'm going to have a look at him, Andre Franco. But as good a player as he might be, he might not fit what I'm trying to do. So we'll have a look at him. And he's obviously a very, very good player, and it's a reasonable price. He's a winger. But I just think it would be wrong. Unless my scouts find him, then I just feel it would be wrong. And he would certainly fit what we're trying to do. But there will always be players that they find, especially in your first season. The game is not going to leave you without players, and the opportunity to buy players. You'll find that you do a lot of business very late on because the game realizes you're short of players. Again, he's another good player. There are so many in here. Sosa, he's a ball winner. He can play as a playmaker, but I like his tackling. I'm not really worried about how good his passing is. His tackling and marking is decent, and his mentors are decent. The game will find me good players. I'm going to add him to my shortlist because he matches what I want to do exactly. Because these two players, need to be able to tackle and mark. It's one of the main functions that they have to do. His passing and vision are not world class, but that is neither here nor there for me. He's aggressive. He's brave. Good concentration. Decision's okay, but determination is good. I think he'd make a good addition to the team, but I'm not going to go and buy him immediately. Although I know Morsey is leaving. He could also play as the centre mid, but not very good as an attacking centre mid. Finishing his poor long shots. Oh, okay. Probably do okay. Backing up as... I don't know how good he would be as a centre back at 5'9", but certainly a good deep line playmaker for me, regardless of his passing and vision. But again, we're not going to make any moves on him yet. There'll be better players come along. Just check on the finances. And a current spend 479, so we're still doing okay. I had a chat with Connor Chaplin. He would like an improved contract. Oh, I'm sure you would. So would I. There's problems with him. I don't suppose he needs to be very brave up there, but these three are good. Technique is good. For an attacking mid, he's pretty reasonable. Okay, we'll look at offering him a new contract. Delighted, 45 to 54. 40k. Okay, so let's see what we can do on this. It's probably one of my better players, although in real life in Ipswich he's the backup, isn't he? But in FM he is a good player, let's face it. Let's try and bring that down to 39. What we'll do is we'll give him something for Christmas. And give the agent a little present. Go out and give the family a nice Christmas. Why not? Yeah, these look fine to me. Let's up his appearance fee to 9. And 25 goals and assists. He's confident, isn't he? If he does that, I'm going to give him 200k. If he does that, I'll give him 200k. 30 goals and assists. An extra, yeah. And he's gone for that. Now he's set himself a target, hasn't he? So we've already done it. Why do I have to respond now? This is madness. I've already spoken to him. Okay, whatever. I still can't move on. Let's ask Edmondson to resolve the issue. Good Lord, I've offered him a new contract. All right, don't worry, I understand. Can I move on now? No. Decline. What the heck? What the heck? That is a big glitch. That's a huge glitch. I probably upset him now. Oh boy. Offers made for Jason. I think we're starting to put a decent team together. Of course it was. An absolute pleasure to watch his goal. I've no idea. So Grim, who is this? Was he coming in for a scout? Adam Fairclough's contract renewal blocked. What? I can't remember what I asked her to take over. Okay, so his analyzing data 14. Charlie Turnbull analyzing data 13. There must be somebody worse than him. 13. 9. Jacob Ashton is the favourite to go. 14. So he can go. So now we're putting together a decent analytical team. My reports should be getting better. With red card bans, have you ever bothered to view the incident? No, never. Because the tackle itself doesn't look like anything. It's even on the pitch, you know when it's a red card because the player like leaps into the air and tackles him. You know it's a red card coming. That because there's like I think only 2 ways that they do it. And so you know instantly when one of your players has got a red card. You just like immediately the tackle happens. You're like, no. That's a really funny one. That no, I've never actually looked at that. So we're gonna plow on here. We're starting to put together her team, and when we look at the transfers in Scott McKenna. This Jason, both on a free transfer, both very good players. So we're starting to put a team together. The boys who want new contracts, hopefully, we've solved most of it, but Morsey can go. Fulham have offered Ipswich Carl Robinson a job as a scout. They can have him. No, I'm not asking him to stay. They can have him. So he is a fitness coach. Okay, so his fitness is 15, but his mentals are exceptional. And I like him. So let's have a look at our fitness coach. Is 12. So he's a candidate. 8 is an even bigger candidate. 11, you just about survive. 9, so they'll take the 8 out first. He's the one, Jeff Robinson. He's gone. And Paco de Miguel, also a fitness coach. The other one with 9 is on the way out. And that was Sewell, wasn't it? So what I need to do now, because I've got the 2 fitness coaches that I want. So I still got 4 fitness coaches. And I don't want 4. Still got 5. So I've got the 2 that I want, who are the 2 I've just signed. Wherever they haven't been added yet. It's not him. Not him. It just hasn't been updated yet, I think. And I need to get rid of... I need a new goalkeeping coach. And I think I've approached someone for a goalkeeping coach, didn't I? Yeah, so one of those fitness coaches will go... Rashford suddenly remembered he could score. Yeah, but the problem is, and as I was explaining earlier when we looked at the tactic, what I've done in my tactic, Mr. K, is I've gone to regroup. And all week, Amarin has been talking to the media about players when they lose the ball, run back, all of you. And the media's been struggling to understand what he's been on about. Basically, what he should be saying to them is, what I want the team to do is to regroup. Instead of he's been like, lose the ball, you all run back. Run back where? That's the media's been kind of confused. But if he just said, I want them to regroup, I want them to get back into their defensive position, do not worry about pressing the opposition, just get back into your defensive position and we'll go again. And so I've decided to do that with this Ipswich team. We're going to regroup. We're going to be useless at pressing the opposition. When we lose the ball, get back into your defensive shape. Like Amarin says, run back. Now, the problem with Rashford is he doesn't quite understand this. And he's not... He did okay for 15 minutes before he decided, what am I doing this for? And then he just stopped doing it. And there was one incident with, which I spotted with... He lost the ball on the halfway line, and Garnacho was ahead of him, and he didn't follow the instructions, run back. Rashford just stood there and like put his head in his hands, thinking, oh my God, I should not have lost that ball. And in the meantime, Garnacho had run back past him, tried to tackle the guy who picked the ball up and gave away a free kick. If Rashford had turned and went after the ball, he could have won the ball back. But Rashford doesn't understand this run back yet, because he stands there and puts his hand in his hand, or stands there and shakes his head, and at that point he's losing yards. And he's just got to turn, lose the ball, forget about your pride being hurt, turn and get back into your defensive shape. And that's what Amarin wants. That's what he means by run back, is regroup. Get back into your defensive shape. But there's a number of players who don't understand this. He's made an offer for Ross Barkley. I'm not too happy about that. He is good as a playmaker, and probably is good as a centre mid on attack. How much has he offered for him? 13. I don't have that kind of money, so I'm not going to go for that. It's a nice idea, but I'm not going to pay 13 million for Ross Barkley. Yeah, he's best example. Yeah, Kane would go deep. He'd be everywhere. And Amarin has been confusing the media all week with this. I've got them running back, and then people were confused when they saw the training videos where he was just getting them to lose the ball and then just run towards their own goal like hell. And they were thinking, what is he doing? But he's training them to get back into shape. And although they were only running back to their goal line, what he was doing was doing fitness at that point. So he wanted them to sprint back to the goal line to get them used to lose the ball, you sprint back. So he was doing fitness and the mentality of regrouping as well. He's got a big job. He's got a big job. See, they throw players at you, don't they? He's out of contract. I'm going to add him to the shortlist, but I'm not going to make a move on him yet. Where's the defence gone? Oh, he's already on the defence, that's why. So, yes, I don't want to make a move on him yet, but he's 24. He is a good player. Lacks aggression, lacks bravery, but he's an attacking wing back. And that's what I need on the left, but I have Leif Davis, and there's no way he's going to come in as a backup to Leif Davis. Yeah, he's injury prone as well. He's fairly poor in the air. He's not injury prone, you're saying, Dav? Yeah, and United have this. What the problem is with United is because Amarin has got it absolutely spot on, and I've been saying this for years, that the front four, once they lose the ball, they just like put their head in their hands. They don't do anything. And you do that for 2 seconds, and by the time you take your head off your hands, the opposition are way down the field with the ball. And what that does is it leaves the two pivots here totally on their own. And they've been doing this for years. And these two pivots are trying to take on 4 attackers. And they cannot do it. So they've been doing this for years. Because these front players will not run back. And Amarin's got it right. He's got to train them to sprint back. And at the moment, he's got them sprinting back to the goal line. But eventually, he will get them sprinting back into their shape, hopefully. It's like training dogs, isn't it? It's like going to take a while. After 25 minutes, United gave up. And if you remember when Ten Hag came in, he decided he wanted to play this high press. And United were able to play it for about 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And then they just gave up doing it. They don't have the fitness levels to do it. And although they're pacey, they don't have the stamina to keep doing that. They do short bursts of pace and then they just rest for a while. And so they need a higher level of fitness. He is good, you're right. He is quick. But his bravery is lacking. His aggression's lacking. We could live without that. I wonder if we can get him in as a backup. If I can't get him in as a backup, then I don't really want to. Probably, it doesn't say. His contract expires soon. Doesn't say anything other than want a very big wage. And he's not going to water it down. Okay. So he wants a huge wage. And if he wants a wage like that, he's going to want to be top of the charts. So Harvey White is a youngster. Is he? No, 22 years old. Can tackle, can't mark. He's not someone. Sam Morsey is unhappy. He'd like to know what I'm going to do about it. I try to reopen negotiations. I promise, but not the deal you were demanding. Should I say that to him, be hard on this, or just say, oh, well, I'll give you what you want? It's your choice whether or not to accept the club's offer. At the end of the day, it's your choice. It's not mine. We made a decent offer. The problem is I'm going to have a very unhappy squad unless I can sell him. Yeah, we know about this now. It was really funny when it changed this year, and everybody was confused by the format. And I think I might have to offer him out on a free. Let's offer him out via the and see what happens there. Got to get rid of him. I might even move him to the reserves, get him out of the way, because he's a team leader. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Get him out of the way. Which means I definitely need a DLP now. Definitely need to bring someone good in there. Chaplin's happy, you see. No problems with him. But the game is always going to make it difficult with your top players. So whatever, he's made another offer, has he? We're not doing that. We're not doing that one. Not for 2.8 million. So still got Jason and Scott McKenna coming in, sitting there. Or is it because they can't come in until the 30th of June? I don't know. The other thing I have to do is set up some friendlies. Some of our mentoring groups are not functioning. Well, function them then. Get them functioning. Yeah, and I have identified someone who fits exactly what I want. There's nothing else really coming in at the moment. So I go to the shortlist and go to midfielders. Which was the one? Was it Sosa? Yeah, Sosa. He fits the bill for me. I don't know about you guys, but I like his mentals. He's brave, aggressive. Concentration is good. Decisions are okay for this level. Determination is good. Teamwork are decent. And he's fairly physical. He's not brilliantly physical. Passing and vision for a DLP could be better, but more important for me is that he can tackle and mark. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think he's worth bringing in? I think probably for me, if I can get him in as a squad player, then later on it gives me a chance to... When's his contract up? Ages 24 January. His transfer status is nothing. Can I make an offer? Can't make an offer here. Why can I not make an offer? Transfer is not possible. Why? Doesn't say it's not possible. Oh, because he's on loan. But he's also injured. But that's only a pulled muscle. And then the other one is Zeka, whose passing is better. First touch is good. Technique is good. But his tackling and marking is poor. And I have to have people in here who can tackle and mark. So like a priority. So he can't do that. Tough decisions. Harvey White isn't really good enough. So we're going to take him off the shortlist. He's not good. And Hayden Hackney is always a staple player to bring in as a midfielder. Everybody likes to bring in Hayden Hackney, but his price is probably a bit high for me at this point. What have we got in terms of finances? Still 35. Sam Morrissey. There was an offer for him and it's been rejected. 3.8 million. I'm going to reduce his value then to 3.8 million. I can't afford for him to hang about now. Let's go 3.7 million. Oh, Premier League season is drawing near, apparently. And we are nowhere near ready. But do not panic. If you are a beginner looking in on this now or later, do not panic at this point. And there's another one, Valentine. Not a deep-lying playmaker. But boy, oh boy, is he a ball winner. How would he be as a centre mid on attack? Not very good, but I'm going to be playing a centre mid on support. So he would be an excellent centre mid on support. Absolutely excellent. But look at his price. I can't afford that yet. A DLP with good speed helps, yeah. For me in this tactic, because these two have to be able to tackle and they have to be able to mark, not brilliantly like the central defenders, but they do have this responsibility to win the ball. The DLP especially needs to be able to win the ball. Humphreys can't do that, so he's not the man that I'm looking for. Oh, this is going to be tough. This is Oscar Ross Barkley. I'm not really sure about him. This guy keeps coming up, but I'm not really sure about him. He's not quite the ticket for me. This is new. Attacking midfielder. That's new. He's also a centre mid and a right winger. Centre mid on support can do the job. Tackling and marking again is what lets him down there. But as an attacking mid on support, 14 is good vision, good off the ball, composure's decent, has aggression, which we need. Work rate is decent, teamwork's good, long shots excellent. He's a free kick taker. I think we have to get him in. He has everything except defending. Good afternoon, Vangelis. Change tactic because I need to become more defensive. I'm going into the Prem. This is not going to be easy. But this guy is a set-piece expert, and he's good at it as well. But his price is probably out of my range. $13 million is going to use up a third of my budget. But what I'm going to do, let's see. First team commitments, they're reluctant to allow him to go out on loan. I'm going to put him on the short list anyway. I'll put him down as an attacker. He's a pretty decent player. And then we have an attacking mid again. Winger. 6 to 9.4 million. Nah, doesn't cut it for me. Pacey. Dribbling's good. Actually, he's not a bad player. His positioning isn't very good, but that's a defensive attribute. Concentration and bravery. Yeah, I've changed the tactic because I want to be much more defensive. And what we've done is gone into a low block and we're going to regroup. Just play counter-attack football. And don't want them dribbling. I just want them lumping it up the pitch. We need to survive in the Premier League. This team is not good enough to play in the Premier League. We're trying to improve it. Tantanga keeps coming up. can tackle, can head the ball, can mark to a degree. He will be away when there's... he doesn't need off the ball or vision. He's a no-nonsense centre-back. Can he play as a central defender on defend? Yeah, I wouldn't want him passing the ball, though. That's the thing. He could play as right back. I just wouldn't want him passing the ball. 11 and 10. So I'd probably just play him as a no-nonsense centre-back. So that he doesn't have to pass the ball, just get rid of it. Just lump it up the pitch. So this is where you give tips for teams that are always worse than the opponents. Absolutely. And this is like, we're not going to get, people can see, we're not going to get the result. No matter how good we are at managing lines, we're just simply not going to be good enough to be getting results in the Premier League. We are going to add him to the shortlist. We're going to have a decent shortlist very soon. We're not going to be as good, and we are going to have to work really hard. I still think I might be able to get him on loan. Now we can. Alt-Nouri, regular starter. Whew. Definitely worth thinking about. I'm sure we can get this down. It's definitely worth thinking about. See, I don't understand loan contracts either. So this means that we're going to pay 6 million a month, which is 72 million a year. Is that what it means, or is that 3 million total over the year? Because that seems outrageous to pay 72 million over the year. So, I don't know how this works, and to pay all his wages on top. It's like a huge amount. You might as well just pay the 30 million and buy him. So you got to double. You got to unduck. You've got to double that because it's unused monthly fee. Oh, okay. So if he plays in each month, but how many games? When the player is playing in the first team, when he's not in the first team. So he will be in the first team, but he won't play every game, but he'll be a first team player. So we'll have to pay 36 million. Holy cow. That would come out of my transfer budget. So we won't bother with that. Maybe on deadline day, we'll get him for free. And, oh, can you? You can see the total cost of the loan. Because I have no idea. I need a good loan manager to sort this out. Let's go to the inbox. Alt-Nouri. Loan. So where's the total cost of the loan? Oh yeah, the total cost of the loan be 38.5 million. That's all the money I have. I don't even have that much money. So we can't be thinking about him. But if they can't move him on, then we might be able to get him on a free loan. You never know. McKenna. We finally got our first player in. And 300k. So we have our first player. Are the fans happy? Let's have a look. It's confirmed. He hasn't joined yet. Okay, we need to start thinking about some friendlies now because the... Oh, what's this boy? He's just getting on my nerves. I want to sell him. Oh, it's getting on my nerves. I'm not going to be... I'm not going to be held to ransom by him, so he can stay in the reserves. Just like, I don't care how unhappy he is. I'll just keep him away from the main first team. Oliver Busquets. Marking's good. Did I make an offer for him? No, the director of football did. His form is good. Marking is good. Tackling is good. This boy might actually fit the bill. His composure's a little dodgy. But this guy just might fit the bill. I would prefer to scout him a little bit before he comes in. But he just might fit the bill. But the transfer story has been leaked anyway. Which means that we're probably not going to be signing him. I think he probably fits the bill. Ability and potential unknown, but he's gone ahead. He's only spending 2 million, 1.9 up front. His form is very good. Rangers they can have him. I'm not going to be bullied into making rash decisions. Does it make it harder to pursue a deal? We live in a 24-hour news cycle these days. So I'm going to set some friendlies up because the boys are coming back soon. When are they coming back? Doesn't say there. I can find that out in the squad. All on holiday, returning 1st of July. Yeah, I need to sort some friendlies out next. So we'll have one on Saturday. A smaller team. Oh, let's play Dorking. Why not? And then we'll arrange another one. Oh, training camp then. And Thursday is a good day after 3 days of training there. I just want to go smaller at the moment. I don't know any of these clubs. So we'll just pick that one. And then another one Sunday. We'll do smaller again. Foot Benfica. I think we're in Portugal. And then I want one more before they go home. And we're going to choose a bigger team. Benfica or... We're going to pit ourselves against Benfica. See how we get on against Benfica. And then when we come home, we'll have some time off, I think. We'll have a similar reputation team. Rapid Vienna. And that's the friendlies I'll do for the time being. Because we're getting near the season after that, and we don't know when the season starts next. Leicester have offered a contract to Ryan Sessegnon. Oh, this is a big deal, isn't it? But the money he wants. Let's approach to sign him. Star player. No, he's gonna cost too much, so we're not gonna bother with him. Looks like you missed the first season, considering Ipswich beat Spurs and drew against United. Would that make them similar teams? There was a comment that I was watching in the BBC scrolling service, which is unusual for me because I don't like the BBC. So, and it said some wag posted in, really disappointed in Ipswich. We should be getting 3 points against mid-table teams, and he was that was bang on the money. It's like, okay, you got something there. I did say I was going to change the training, and I am going to change the training. We're going to look at real fitness here. I really want real fitness training. And look at this endurance, resistance, quickness. I know I'll probably pick up a couple of injuries. In the second week, we're going to go normal. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of physical stuff going on. I really want to focus on endurance. I'm going to put endurance in here. I know there'll probably be a couple of injuries, but it's really important that they get this fitness levels up to speed. And they're not going to like me very much. But there's a decent documentary on F1 team on the BBC iPlayer. I'm not a fan of the BBC, but that's another story. There's some really good documentaries on Discovery Plus as well, which I really got into. One of them, I don't know if you're interested in rugby, was the hidden tapes of Jonah Lomu. What a fantastic documentary that was, and what a brave man he was, and what a great player. Man has put pen to paper, so we have another one in, but he's only 16. Okay, decent. Still not decided whether they will accept the offer for him. Okay, take your time. No. Busquets draws his interest. He desperately wants to join Ipswich. So he should. I'm going to scout him now. Just to see if we can. Let's go to the scouting scout priorities. He's probably right down the bottom, isn't he? Let's move him right up to the top. Let's see what he's about. Loan approach for Tantanga. This is passing again, but let's just play him as a no-nonsense. I'm sure we will get. Jason has agreed to join the club. I like him. He's my right winger. In there with Wes Burns. Can play. Emilio Alvarez. Goalkeeping coach. Transfer blocked, of course. So it's a fitness coach we want to take out. 13. 11. It's Mukandi. Has got to go this time. And Jason set to sign for Ipswich. Accept the deal. Alvarez completes the move. Things are moving on. Offers made for who? Manley. Never heard of him. He can go. So in terms of finances, we've made a couple of deals and we still haven't spent anything. So we've got 2 boys coming in very soon. And we haven't spent anything. I'd say that's a good start. I'd say that's an excellent start. I want to get to the point where we play a friendly. I want to have a look at how they deal with this. We'll settle for a 3.3 million for Busquets. What do you think, boys? 3.3 million? Can't tackle. Well, he possibly can tackle. His marking's good. And he can... I say we go for this. 3.3 million. The offer has been made. So, I guess... Yeah, we've made a new bid. Twanzebe, do we want to keep him or not? Yeah, I'd say Mr. K's worth 3.3 as a punt. Absolutely. Yeah, even worth the shit for 3.3, even your first one. Do we want to offer a contract to Twanzebe? What do you think? It's going to run out June 24. So it's due to run out very shortly. Is he worth a punt? And I look at the squad. I've got one coming in, haven't I? One centre-back already coming in, who is McKenna. So if I look at the squad, I don't like that view. If I look at my squad, I've got Burgess... Wolfenden. I'm not quite sure Burgess is going to make it. Wolfenden is good. So I've got 3 plus Donasian can play at centre back if necessary. If I let him go, I'll have to bring another centre back in. Edmondson, I don't think he's going to cut it. It's good in the air. Marking is good. He's brave. He's got some of the stuff that I want. He makes poor decisions. But then they're all going to be pretty poor. He's got some of what I need. Probably a good squad player. And he's a fringe player. He can sit on the bench. So I'd say let Twanzebe go. I'd say let him go. What do you think, guys? It's a tough decision. Potential to be a good Premier League central defender. Good player for most EFL Championship sides. Enjoys big matches, consistent pace. Susceptible to injuries. He's a good EFL Championship player. Now, where they're getting this from, good Premier League player, because he's 26 years old. His development has stopped. I don't know. I don't know about this one. And then Missouri. He's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. I mean, we can do better than that. He's brave. Potential to be a good EFL Championship defensive midfielder in the future. He's not even got the potential. So we're going to say don't offer him a contract. Twanzebe, what do you think, guys? I'm sure I can find I'm sure that I can find better centre-backs out there. Pretty sure. I mean, just the first one I click, he's not brilliant, but he's slightly better. I go to my shortlist, defenders. I can find better here. I got Scott McKenna coming in. There you go. I've found better. 350k. His composure is a bit off, and his passing, and I would just be playing him as a no-nonsense centre-back. He wouldn't be first choice, but he's got what I need: aggression, bravery, strength. He can head the ball. He's fairly determined. His positioning isn't bad. Teamwork and work rate are good. He's got what I need from central defenders. Courtney House, everybody's favourite. Heading 15, marking 13, tackling 14. Those are okay. His determination is poor. Passing is dreadful. But again, he's strong. He's aggressive. Those are okay for starting in the Premier League. Positioning is not bad. His work rate's pretty good. Teamwork pretty good. I'd say he would be a better bet, and he can play left back if need be. So I would say he would be a better bet than Twanzebe. So I'm going to let Twanzebe go. Twanzebe, don't offer a contract. Might be a mistake. Ashton's contract fit. We don't want him. No interest in renewing it. Signing of the season, George Hurst. I don't know how they've worked that out. We've been awarded 7.5 thousand. Why? We should be getting a ton of money in for TV stuff. If you jump these up, it doesn't do anything with the budget. It's given me 3 million extra. Why put yourself under pressure? Oh, we want some improvements, do you? Okay, we've improved. I asked for that a long time ago. You never came back to me. I think that's a great idea. You never came back to me, you twit. I don't want to do that yet. We're going to get better youth facilities. Thank you. I would say I agree with you, Mr. K. Courtney House has been a go-to player for people for a long time. Does a good job. Preseason preparation, no, we're going with what I said. No, I don't want to do that. The game is putting pressure on me to make an offer for Tanganga. Positioning good, teamwork good, work rate good. He's very brave, very aggressive, determined, very strong. He can head the ball, marking and tack. What do you think, guys? Do you think he's good for a loan? Bring him in for a loan, 25-year-old. The only weakness is wayward with passing, but then everybody is yeah, the game is trying to get me to make a So I'm not going to. There's going to be better. There's going to be better than that. I think we've made 2 very good signings, and we've still got all our transfer budget left. Oh, opening day, we are playing Manchester City away. It doesn't get any bigger than that for Ipswich. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We have Manchester City, Burnley, Southampton, Brighton, Fulham. Well, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So how does that affect my friendlies? Got plenty of room to put some more friendlies in there. Sessignon has already gone. That is pretty cool. Never works out. I mean, to me, he's not quite right. Why has he changed my... I told him what I wanted, and he should listen to me. Preseason, 5th. Oh, that's 5th of August. That's way into the future. He hasn't changed my fitness routine. Carl Robinson as a scout. Carl Robinson. He's rubbish. He can go. No problem. I'm not going to renew his contract if West Ham want him. That's up to them. Oh, João Gomez. I'm not going to be able to afford him, am I? And why are they... Yeah, we may actually get him on a freebie. Late on, you just never know. Why are they making me look at João Gomez when I can't afford it? Might be one of those freebie loans that we can get late on. That would be a good signing. I honestly think, Mr. K, there are better players out there than those 2. At least Morsy's not causing a stink anymore. Striker. Strong. Very good mentals. Very tall. But he's a target forward, and I don't want to play with a target forward. I could play as a pressing forward, but he's not got the pace. Unfortunate, but we'll keep looking. There's plenty of time to go yet. He's made another offer for a goalkeeper. I agree with him. I think he's probably a very good goalkeeper. Reflexes are high. One-on-ones are high. He's got exceptional command of the area. I agree with him. You can go ahead and make that signing, Sam. Oh, other people have come in as well. Okay. Dan Hill, I know we want to get rid of. Yeah, he's poor. And Tonello. No, we're keeping Tonello. What about Adam Whiteside? Very poor. Whiteside or Dan Hill? Dan Hill first. Get rid of them. She's got a brand new set of scouts that she can start using. We need to have a quick... Howard Bellis. Thirtieth of June. I still think he would be a very good signing. We could approach to sign. I still think everybody should get Harwood Bellis in. 4-0 loss for City. Absolutely, Mr. K. That came out of nowhere. I'm going to make an offer for Harwood Bellis. I'm not going to make an offer. I'm going to approach to sign him. Star player. See? Squad player. He's not going to go for this, is he? Star player or nothing. Well, he is a lot better than anything that I've got. 36 is cheap. But I'm sure we can bring that down a little bit. And then just give him a little Christmas gift. No, that's locked. Give his agent a bit to play with for Christmas. And up these bonuses. Appearance fee can go up. Clean sheet bonus. More clean sheets he gets us, the better. Minimum release clause. I want to bring that up to 25. Okay, he's not going to go for this either. He's not negotiating that. I got to get him down on this. Let's try that. He's gone for that. Okay, maybe Harwood Bellis. Who knows? But there's a lot of interest in him. He might go somewhere else. Good player, but out of my price range. So I think I brought in 2 good centre-backs. Ipswich, West Ham. Okay, I'm glad he's gone. Well, what the heck West Ham want him for? I don't know. He's only got like 11 and 10. Okay. He's agreed to join us as a star player, which means he wants to play most of the games. Yeah, I mean, let's face it. He is a good player. Pretty much should be in the team. He's certainly better than anything that we've got. So let's update that now. See, all these players haven't arrived yet. They arrived probably 30th of June or 1st of July, and then we can reevaluate the squad again. But it's looking better. It's looking a lot better. There's a lot of business going on here. A ton of business going on. Taylor should play every game. You mean Harwood Bellis? I mean, he's a good player. He's better than anything we've got. And why my assistant, my manager, or my director of football was saying squad player didn't make any sense. Busquets, we've already made an offer for, haven't we? Yeah, we have an offer out there for Busquets. Another centre-back. I don't need another one. I've got both centre-backs now. No, if I haven't renewed his contract, he isn't getting one. 13 is not good enough. Twanzebe is gone. Ipswich released 15 players. That should ease the wage bill. Where's Burns? Oh, God, when's his contract up? 25. No, we're not renewing that. Delay. Might cost me in the future. Staff contracts. We'll just delay all of those. We'll decline. I have no idea if he's going to get his work permit or not. If he isn't, he's on the transfer list. We should be able to see the squad now as they're back. And hopefully we have new players coming in. Not quite yet. Here we go. Harwood, Bellis, Scott McKenna and Jason. So defensively, I've got two very good centre-backs. And we haven't spent any money yet, which is really cool. And then we've brought in a winger as well. And all that without spending any money. And that's pretty good news. So let's have a look at the squad and pick the team now. So Scott McKenna, even though he's on international duty, he would come in as a central defender on defend. He's what foot is he? So he's actually, that's good because he is the left-sided, and we'd have him as a central defender on defend. And then we've got Harwood Bellis, who would be the ball-playing defender. I'd prefer if he was a cover, but he's not. So we'd have to have him as a central defender on defend as well. So already we're looking a little bit better. And then we have Jason, who comes in for Burns on the wing. So we're looking better. Looking better. I'm just going to look at where I need to focus on next is here. Absolutely here. Getting two very good players in here. And we have already got an offer for Busquets out there. I had a chat with Wes Burns. Oh, okay. I quite like this. And they come when they say want to explore my options at the end of the season. Fine, no problem. You go ahead, explore your options. And what that means is that I don't have to play him so often. It's just kind of cool. Auto select. Burns considering his options. Well, you consider ahead. You have a good time. So we're going to... What is this? Oh, for goodness sake. He has a decision, but remember one of those decisions could be to stay. If we have a good season and finish mid-table, he's going to want to stay. And then I might decide, no, I don't want you to stay. Who is Steve Johnson? Attacking midfielder, 16 years old. He's a bit young yet. And defensive midfielder Sosa. His contract is due to expire, and I could get him in on a free as well. And that boy can tackle and he can mark. So I'm going for him. Oh, he wants to be a star player, does he? But bearing in mind that I only want the first team, I only want 2 players. Oh, okay, play every game then. Whew. Oh, I know why. Are we in problems? Yeah, we're over the wage budget now, aren't we? Can we adjust that? Still leaves me 24. Who's putting the... That's because I haven't sold anybody, isn't it? Oh, that's a shame. I need to sell people. Coming down to 24. That was a big blow on my that's where we are at the moment. Committed spending 709. Still leaves me 28. I've got to do it because I want to get this boy in. Need to get this boy in, but I don't want to pay him 50k. We'll up that by the agent fee can go up a little bit. That can go up a bit. Appearance fee up to 12. Clean sheet bonus. Okay, that's cool. So that's sorted out Morrissey's position. I think he will do a very, very good job. As a DLP, his passing and vision are not brilliant, but I like him. Really like him. I needed to get that over the line. I'm going to struggle, though. I need to sell players next. There's none of the players that are listed are going out. They're all pleased. He no longer wants a new contract. Excellent. Oh, Wolves have put in a bid for Morsey. Excellent. Connor Chaplin, captain. Leadership 13. Teamwork 13. Nah, we don't want to do this nonsense. We'll get a chance to have a look at that later. And quickness. We haven't had any injuries yet from the training, touch wood. Castiles, we've signed. I like these signings that we're making. He's come in. He'll take over the goalkeeping berth. Hopefully the team are going to be very happy about him. Extremely good player. So now he can go into... Well, I like doing this, and I like setting up your first team and then putting in new players as they come in. So Castiles now comes in as the goalkeeper, and watching the team get better and better. I like doing that. Scott McKenna is obviously not available. I'm going to set my bench up now. He's going to be unhappy because he's the first team goalkeeper. So he's going to be unhappy. Well, actually, he's now a fringe player. So he might be okay with it. He played well last year. His work permit has expired. How do I apply for a work permit then? Apply for a work permit. He has been playing international stuff. He might get a work permit. Might get away with it. And then we got to put like a defense together. Transabi is about to be gone, isn't he? I thought his... Oh no, we signed him, didn't we? Did we? No, his contract's expired. He just stays at the club, does he? So where have all my fullbacks gone then? Diasian. Oh, I let him go, did I? Yeah, I've got no full back cover, which is interesting. So we'll play centre-backs as full-backs for now for the last 10 minutes. So now I've got to work on wing-backs. Now we got to get some wing-backs in. He'll be fine as a backup goalkeeper. He played well last year. And then we'll play this game. And then when we come back next time, we will focus on getting... Don't offer a new contract. I think he's good enough. Good enough to be a backup. I think so. Register for the Premier League. Al-Hamadi. He's definitely not good enough. I mean, we don't need to do registration. May run down the contract if not sold. That's fine. If he has a good season, we'll re-sign him. If not, don't worry about it. Players to loan. Backup. He wanted to make him captain. Now he wants to make him a fringe player. He's not going to be happy. Leif Davis to a regular starter. None of those are going to be happy. What is that about his work permit? Has been granted a work permit. So I'm fine with him as my backup. Scout it at least. Come on then. Let's score a ton of goals against Dorking. But I want to see how the new tactic plays out. It's really important for me to have a look at that. Yeah, I don't want to look at the report of Manchester United. I know they're a good team. Udinese. Have I got any offers out there for fullbacks? Sosa, I've got an offer out on free contract. Cost me money though. But he'll be a good player to come in. He's the only one I've got. Morsi as a bid in. That'll bring me in some money and wages. Vata. Okay, we'll try him out in pre-season. Jason, send him on a big language course. Clark. Who's Matt Ward? Young kid. It's not good enough yet. Nico Val. This is a big season that we have. We can't afford to be playing players who are not good enough. Morsi's gone to Wolves. Yay! No more trouble with Morsi. Make a parting comment. That's what I'd say to you. I'm not going to be saying thank you very much for your cooperation. And we got 1.5 million of the money. The committed spending is 7.6. I'm sure I got that down. Sam Morsi was on big wages. Let's go defending corners. Do a little bit of defending. All the players survived that big endurance week. Strange how United always play well in FM. Oh, absolutely every time. No, I want to try the new players out. But now we have a hole in centre mid. With Morsi gone. So we can put Luongo or Jack Taylor. We'll play Luongo in there. He's probably not good enough. But certainly we've got a team that should be beating Scott McKenna not available, so Wolfenden will come in here. We've got a team that's good enough to beat Dorking. And we'll see how we get on. See how this new tactic works out for them. He's made an offer for Kanga. No. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You're wasting my money on him. Fullbacks we need. I like him as well. I need to make an offer for him. We haven't got enough fullbacks. I'm sure there will be better fullbacks that come along later. Pretty sure there will be. And if I go to my scouting, shortlist, defenders, he's on there. Cameron Pring is but I think the other guy is better. I think this guy is better. Yeah, he is better, and he's an attacking wing-back, which is what I need there. Alt Nuri, possibly. He can be removed. I think we should make an offer for this guy. Could even actually play up there. I think, let's have a look. What did they, 650k. So we'll match that offer them. He's unlikely to make a decision anytime soon. So we'll leave it for now. No, I need to make a bid because I haven't got any fullbacks. Let's make the offer. Oh, do we need analysts, do we? He is a good analyst. Not bad. No, not him. These two are good. Scott Waters. The other two will hang on. Scouting and transfer. Julian Ward. Good. He's good. Stafford. Not. No. Unfortunately, his adaptability is poor. So Julian Ward would be pretty good, actually. Scout. 975. Cheap. Sean Derry. No, he's not as good as the set piece coach that I've already got. So we don't want a separate set piece coach. We have the hidden recruitment analyst who's a brilliant set piece coach. So we'll play this game, and then we got to really work on getting some fullbacks in. Luongo, come on, you've got to get your act together. You're on the way out, sunshine. Soon as I get round to, well, whatever. If you think that's good enough. Whatever. That is not good enough for me. 6.7. Incredibly interested. Okay. I'll go with that. I'd actually have him as a squad player now. I'm going to make him a squad player now. And he doesn't have the required number of points. He's not going to get a work permit, is he? But we can have one of those ESC ones, can't we? Yeah, there are ESC permits available, and we're not using any of them at the moment. So we should be okay. I don't like this. The relegation clause can stay. He's happy with that. I think there are things called ESC permits, which are allowed 4 of, apparently. No, we need him to play. You're having a laugh. He's, in fact, going on the bench as soon as he comes in. Okay, so here come Dorking. I've got no fullbacks on the bench, though, to bring on. It's going to be tough. Scott McKenna's on international duty. Bab is injured. He'll have to play, though, for 10 minutes. And one of the wingers can come on later and play us. So let's go and see how this tactic works out. They all seem fairly happy after the cup of tea meeting with a sandwich. And they're all happy. Which is what I like to see. Probably going to lose this now. Because we're playing too defensive. But they have to get used to playing in this defensive way. They have to get used to tight marking these two boys. So it doesn't matter that we are favourites. Go out and play it like it. Go and show me why you deserve your opportunity. Let's have a look at how the tactic works out. We don't want key highlights. They are focused down the middle, which is interesting, and I'm in a standard line, aren't I? We're not going to create tons of chances. Just have to be careful about down the middle stuff. Can we have some highlights? Let's go to comprehensive so I can see. Oh, there we go. So I can see what's going on the pitch. One 0. Chaplin, who's not happy. So far, so good. But we're not going to create tons of opportunities, even against teams like Dorking, because we're sitting back. But even so, we should be good enough to put our chances away. I'm going to go just temporarily to comprehensive highlights because I want to see the tactic and how it's playing out. I want to see their passing. Pass completion is 90%. Oh, that was a drive. Who was that? I want to see if we're defending properly as well. See, there's nothing wrong with my set piece coach. Set piece coach is brilliant. He's just like a performance analysis. Getting caught on the counter. but we're covering the space. We got tons of bodies in the end behind that ball. Tons of them. God blimey, even in comprehensive, there's no highlights. This is going to be a hard watch for people during the coming season, because look how far back we're sitting back. We're just like, we've got bodies in this area of the pitch. It's just so defensive. It's going to be a hard watch for people. But in order to survive, we have to do this. I'm just going to pop it up to positive. And Jason Luongo can go to a centre mid on attack. Just to be a little bit more attacking for this bunch. But yeah, this is like survival is difficult to watch. It's hard. It's going to be a really hard watch. And like managing it is going to be even harder. Because even against Dorking, we're sitting so far back. But at least we've got an attacking midfielder now, who's looking to get forward. So we have got people on the shoulder, as it were. And we need to be a little bit more direct than we're being. Hey, music. How you doing, my friend? So I'm like, sorry, boys, but it is going to be a very hard watch in the new season. But if we're going to survive, and I'd like to think we could be mid-table, but or not mid-table, but like 12th. I think they do call that mid-table, don't they? I'd like to think we can be between 14th and 12th, really give a good account of ourselves. But to do that, we are going to be digging in. Go on. In the same way as we did in the Carabao Cup and Aston Villa in the FA Cup last season, Arsenal and Aston Villa, we dug in and we got a 1-1 draw against Arsenal and we lost 2-1 to Villa. And I think we were unfortunate against Villa. Hey, ADHD. Yeah, we'll recap the transfers so far. Once the game is finished. I'm just at the moment checking the new setup. But we're not seeing many defensive highlights, so it's a problem. They're not Dorking and not very good attacking wise. We've got a standard line. Their focus is down the wings. They can't get down there. That Mr. K, the thing is that if I start messing with the tactic now, then I need them to learn this. It's like, and it doesn't matter who they're playing, they have to learn to play like this. This is the first time they've actually played in this way. Overall, they haven't been bad. I don't think they were playing lazily. I think we'll leave it at that. We don't need to say any more. The fact is they don't know the setup. And so they're going to struggle. And there are also 3 new players in there. But this is good because I want to see how they're coping defensively. There's our free kick, Leif Davis with the yellow card. Donkey. He's certainly done him anyway. So, yeah, I've gone more attacking by pushing more bodies forward, but I need them to get used to the system. If they don't get used to the system, we're going to get off to a really bad start. And we're in. Chaplin again, 2-0. So we can attack on the counter. which is good news. And defensively, even though they're rubbish, the opposition... Oh, he's offside, is he? He's offside. We're not getting that one. So we're dominating the game. We should be. Our passing is good. So I'm quite happy for the first showing. 2-0, Harry Clark. Nice one, Squirrel. So I need to, like, two more fullbacks. We've already got, hopefully, somebody coming in as the DLP. I will then need someone as a midfield centre and a striker. And I think we can do that. So, yeah, Mr. K, absolutely being rock solid at the back. I've brought in defenders, central defenders who are good, but they're going to make mistakes anyway. But we've got to try and minimise the mistakes by keeping the line standard, giving them more time. At times we might, like against Liverpool City, we might have to play with a lower line, which gives them more time. You can see with the standard line, we've got much more time to play the ball. There's no pressure on us. And the defence looks good. We just look poor in midfield and up front at the moment. It's okay. It's okay. They've got to learn this. And I'm still short of players. We don't have a first team yet. But we're not panicking about that. We've done part of it. We've brought in a good right winger. We've brought in 2 very good central defenders. So we're halfway there. We almost got the defensive midfielder in there. We're almost there. And remembering that we don't need a huge squad. We only need a small squad. Because we're only going to play probably 42 matches maximum. So we only need 21, 22 players. For the first season, that's enough. Nicely done, unlucky. We need a striker. Hurst is not going to be a good... I am really seriously thinking about Carlton Morris. It is a serious option for me. And why not? Where's Burns? Can have a run. Not Burgess, he's twit. Where's Burns? Can have a run. Burgess can come in the back. Burgess in there. And perhaps we need to Marcus Harness in for Chaplin. Twanzebe actually can play there. Solve that problem. Rocco Vata. Should I give him a game? Let's give him a run out. The coaches seem to think the world of him. So let's give him a run out for 30 minutes. See how he gets on. And you know, guys, you probably think I'm mad playing the Preseason. You probably all think I'm bonkers. But these are the most important games of the season. And like everybody I know just goes on holiday or just does instant result here. These are the most important games of the season. If your tactic's not working, you got to fix it. And I'm seeing problems all the time. And this is not about anything else other than just... It looked dangerous, but they were trying to go into those narrow spaces behind the defenders, and we just closed it down. And that's why it's going to be a hard watch. Go on, hit it, but not over the bar. And I'm watching that maybe Leif Davis, if he's going to be wasteful, then he should shoot less often. We should maybe... Yeah, absolutely, Mr. K. And I take this part of the season very seriously. I don't just instant result these. Because, like, noticing Leif Davis needs to be put on shoot less often. In the Premier League, he's not going to have the opportunity to shoot all the time. Same with Harry Clark, needs to be on shoot less often. And they did get behind us then. And we put Harry Clark on shoot years already. Those are very difficult. Very difficult to defend against. Those skidding, hard, low crosses. So I can't be too hard on them. I think if we'd gone attacking, we'd have hammered them. But that's not the point of playing these games. They have to get familiar with how I want them to play. One shot, one goal for Dorking. They just have to get used to it. And painful as it might be for me if they're not scoring. And they're not scoring because my lines are set wrong for Dorking. We should be pushing the lines much higher up. That's why we're not scoring. But these boys need to get used to this. But well done. Well done, Burgess. From centre back as well. We've got the win at least. What are you doing? Let's just get on with it. So let's make some more changes. Vata, you see, did very well and got outside his man, picked the ball up again. I thought that's quite good from him. Spurs are used to... So I'll go through what you've missed in a minute, ADHD. I'm going to make some changes now. We've won this game now. We can rest the boys. Edmondson can come on for Wolfenden. Humphreys is on his deathbed. Jack Taylor can come in. He's not very good at it, but... Oh, actually, Twanzebe can come in there. He's not much better. Daniel Bebb on for Clark. I don't have a left back, but I'm sure Jack Taylor will do an awesome job. He's got half a star. Up front, El Mohammadi can come on for 5 minutes. El Hamadi. And a reasonable performance, I would say, but you can see how unfamiliar they are with playing this way against a very weak Dorking team. And why are they counter-pressing? They have no reason for those three players to be up that high. They should be getting back into regrouping into position. So, like Amarin, I've got things to do in training. Run back. Because they're not running back at the moment. Go on, Burns. Have a shot. Not to be. Now, they need to be running back, and they're not. When the ball's turned over in transition, we need to get out of there. So they're not doing it. And if I was playing by myself, I'd be looking at this in full match. I know you think I'm crazy, but it allows me to make little tweaks. Come on, let's get 4 before everybody goes home. Make the scoreline look a bit more reasonable. Surely not going to have a shot. And they're off again on the counter-attack. I think that's probably it. Referee, blow your whistle. They're going to make it 3-2. Oof. No, my line held. Well done. I mean, really, we should have a much higher line. It is, actually, and it's surprising how much you can pick up from how you're playing. And it's okay. A win's a win. It was a good win, and I'm happy with the result and how you played. Because they're adapting to something that they don't know. What I've learned is that Leif Davis needs to be shoot less often. So I learned something from that game. Why are they unavailable? Not included in the training camp squad. Oh, okay. So I got an even smaller squad. I got young boys, I think, though, who are... I mean, I think it's unfair that I just can't make a phone call and say, can you put those 4 boys on the plane, please? I think it's unfair, unless the club would say, oh, we don't have the money. Okay, so we're currently on the button in terms of spending of about £200. I have to sell some players. What have you missed, ADHD? The transfer, there's been a few comings and goings. Sam Morsey, he went out to Wolves for 3.7. He was making a fuss, wanted to be an important player. I didn't want him to be an important player. End of story. Dominic Ball went out on a free. And Mizuni, he went out on a free. Walton went out on a free. We've brought in Scott McKenna, a central defender. I think he's very good. I think he's got the potential to keep us in the Premier League. We brought in Jason, who will play predominantly as a right winger. He's a good player. Lacks some of the mentors that I want, but then wingers generally do. I think he's a very good player. Harwood Bellis, of course, speaks for himself. Everybody's go-to. I think he's exceptional. I think we've got 2 very good central defenders now. And then Castiles has come in as a goalkeeper. I think he is also a very good player. We brought him in for next to nothing. He's now worth 27 million. So things are happening. We also have one more. Actually 2 more. We have a fullback who we're thinking of bringing in. We've made an offer for. He's considering his contract. And then Santiago Sosa, who's a DLP. And I like him. And even though his passing and vision isn't brilliant, I like him. He can tackle, he can mark, he's got good mentors. Physically a very good player. I think that's exactly the kind of player I want to go into the Premier League. I've changed the tactic because now we have to be very, very defensive, very solid at the back. It includes regrouping, the same as Amarin is saying. When you lose the ball, you run back. They've got to learn to do that. And we're going to keep playing direct. I don't want them to dribble. I just want them to send balls into space and counter-attack. That's how we're going to play. That's how we've set up. And I've been going for 3 hours. I can't believe it. So I'm going to come back on Wednesday. The transfer window will hopefully go through to the first game of the Premier League. I'm pretty sure we'll get that far. More transfers will come in, and I hope some boys will go out. We have to get rid of a couple. So that's going to be it for today. If you are still in the chat and you haven't already, give us a like. Help the channel to grow. Likes push. Ooh, available jobs: Bayern Munich and Barcelona. Shall I apply? Shall I apply just for shits and giggles? What do you think, boys? Apply or not? There's no way we'd get those jobs. So okay, I'll see you on Wednesday, boys. When we'll go through more of so the board won't like it. I don't think we'll get those jobs, Mr. K, to be fair. So anyway, thanks for coming. I've had a great time. As always, I love streaming. And it's always good to play with friends, as they say. Thanks for coming along, and see you next time on Wednesday. The Newcastle Journeyman Save will continue tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We've won our first 3 games. We've got Liverpool up next. It's going to be tougher. And we'll see if we can continue that run tomorrow night. Thanks for coming, Jamie. And we'll see you very soon. Thanks, guys. Take care. Be safe. And see you Wednesday.